Baseball season is right around the corner with pitchers and catchers arriving at spring training later this month, February 15th for the Mets and the 16th for the Yankees. But what should we expect when it comes to pitching for both teams? Now, when it comes to talking about pitching, you know what I got to do. I got to talk to my guy. He is the founder of Pitcher List. That is Nick Pollack. And Nick, he joins me now. Nick, how's it going? Are you ready for some baseball?
What is happening? Yes! Pitchers and catchers are reporting so soon. Baseball is coming. I can't wait.
I know you can't wait. You're always excited to talk about baseball, especially pitching, and that's why we have you here. And Nick, we're going to start with the Mets. The Mets pitching staff is going to look quite different this year with some new faces, including Justin Verlander and Kodai Senga. How do you think the Amazing's pitching staff stacks up against the rest of the National League?
I mean, I think they have constructed a fantastic rotation here. Justin Verlander just threw 175 innings. And those that are worried about his health, Jeff Zimmerman has a fantastic assessment of guys coming back from Tommy John, saying there's about a 400-inning window of their honeymoon, which means great things for 2023. You can throw 200 innings and still be underneath that 400 window. You have Kodai Senga coming over from Japan. He throws upper 90s with a ghost fork, which is really just a splitter. But really good things coming there. And that's the number 5 for the Mets. Jose Quintana just had an amazing season with his command locked in finally after all those years. I love the idea that he can be their number 4. And as long as he's getting those fastballs up and those curveballs down, he should be great. Then you have Max Scherzer, who we always know is fantastic. The only concern is about his health, of course, as he hasn't gone 180 innings for a while now. But then you have David Peterson and Tyler McGill ready to go. And I think every team in the majors would be happy having one of them as their number 5. Oh, yeah, and don't forget Carlos Carrasco, who still has a really good slider and a really good changeup. The Mets have constructed a fantastic rotation for the year ahead.
All right, you're high on the Mets rotation. That's what Mets fans want to hear. Let's talk about the Yankees. Their big addition this offseason was Carlos Rodon. Do the Bronx Bombers have the pitching that it takes to finally return to the Fall Classic in 2023?
I think the New York Yankees have 2 of the top 10 pitchers in baseball now with Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon. I love that at the very top. And if they have that for the playoffs, they're going to be a very dangerous team with that rotation. Oh, don't forget, Nestor Cortez had a phenomenal ERA last year, well underneath 3 last season. And Luis Severino was looking like an ace of around a 3.20 ERA and a 1 whip in his innings last year. The biggest question is going to be health. Right now, Frankie Montas is dealing with a shoulder injury. He's out for a month, but even when he does return, we've seen these shoulder injuries linger for a while. It might affect him through the full year, which means the Yankees have to rely on Domingo Germán or Clark Schmidt as their number 5. And don't forget, Luis Severino, not necessarily the most healthy starter. Same with Nestor Cortez, has dealt with some stuff. Carlos Rodon had a shoulder injury a couple years ago as well. Maybe that does come back. It's a very fragile rotation. At its peak, this is an incredible rotation. Essentially 4 aces here with Severino and Cortez at the end of it. But if there's some health problems, and they might be struggling even mid-season to figure out how they're going to fill out the rotation, you might see some trades. You might see some interesting call-ups during the season. So I'm really curious to see how this plays out. I'm excited to see it in action. And if they're at their peak, oh boy, it's going to be so fun watching the Yankees pitch this year.
I know you will enjoy that for sure there, Nick. Now, I have to ask you this before we get you out of here. Did you see the 2022 Cy Young Awards for Sandy Alcantara and Verlander? It had a critical spelling error. Both plaques were missing the second A in the word valuable. So I got to ask you this, Nick. Would you feel valuable if you won an award for being the most valuable pitcher and there was that spelling error in the award?
It's unbelievable. I mean, of course, as Rob Manfred said, is this just a hunk of metal, right? It doesn't matter. This is how I see these kind of things. I'm sure there's somebody along the chain that messed this up, and it's on MLB right now. Look, the mistake happened, but how do you handle it? How do you actually value your players? The second you noticed it, you should be contacting them saying, yes, we're going to get you a better version of this that actually has it spelled out. If they aren't, then I'm actually upset. Sandy Alcantara and Justin Verlander deserve all of the respect after the seasons they just had. I have a Sandy crush. So should you. Justin Verlander just did what he did, which you all know. And they deserve to have a better award than that. This is the majors. If in high school you won an award, Dexter, and if it had your name misspelled or something misspelled on it, you would get a replacement. This is the MLB. They have to have a replacement one. It's unbelievable. It's unfathomable.
Unfathomable. I feel like the replacement should have already been delivered to Alcantara
Yes.
and Verlander. They already should have the replacement. Who wants to look around and see this award and know that it was messed up? It doesn't make you feel valuable at all. At least I don't think so.
No, it does not. It
Does
really
not.
doesn't.
Okay, I'm glad you agree with me. I think the people wanted to know. It was pitching related, so why not talk about it? That is Nick Pollack, the founder of Pitcherless. He thinks the Mets and Yankees pitching staffs can be pretty good this season. We will see in a couple weeks, Nick. Pitchers and catchers report. I'd say less than 10 days we're talking about here. So there we go. I know you're excited. We'll talk soon, Nick. Thank you, man.
Can't wait. Thank you so much.